Hi everybody, my name's Gavin Turnbull. I work for a company called AAG IT Services. The purpose of today is to take 10 minutes of your time to share some insights and provide you with some tips and cheats around how you can avoid the ever-growing problem which is cybercrime. Now, for those that don't know, a cyber attack is a deliberate act by a group or an individual to extract data, information, money and funds from you or your business. If any person or technology supplier ever tells you that they can 100%, that's 100% guarantee your safety against cybercrime, they're telling porkies, unfortunately. So please be aware. This presentation though has been designed specifically to help you and provide you with 7 steps of how you can actually avoid cybercrime. But that's limit the threat of cybercrime. Limit, not guarantee. Now, moving on to the first slide. Your data is hugely important. It's really important that we emphasise that fact. It's as important as the people that work for you, your employees, the building that you operate from. It's on that level. Without your data, there's a strong possibility that you're going to be really impacted. You could even go bust as a business. There's proven facts all over the internet to show that any major data breaches can cause maximum disruption, can cost a lot of money, and can even fold businesses. So it's really important that you realise that your data is so important to the business. Now this house represents your business for the purpose of this presentation, and your prized possessions inside your house, so such as your photographs, your jewellery, your money, etc., is represented by your business's data. So we're going to use that analogy. Through the next sort of few minutes, we're going to take you through them steps to protect your possessions inside this house. So the first thing we're going to do, pretty obvious one, we're going to put a lock on the door. So the padlock that you can see there represents in the IT world, for the purpose of this, passwords. Now we could spend an hour easily just talking about passwords and how you can create a secure password, but we haven't got time. But a little tip for you, if you want to create a secure password, pick 3 random words that you'll remember and no one else will. Use capital letters at the beginning or the end of them 3 random words, and sandwiched in between the 3 words, separate them with a strange character such as a pound sign, a dollar sign, a percentage sign, for example. Or you can use a password manager app. Something like LastPass is really good, but again, your main password for something like that has to be really secure. So that's passwords. Now if we move on to the next slide, putting on a padlock on a door is just simply not going to cut it. We're not just going to rely on that to protect everything inside our house. So introducing you to Ronnie and Reggie, our trusted canine friends. They are trusted canine friends to us, but to the enemy, the cyber criminals, sworn enemies. So these guys are here to protect our house as well. Now these allies of ours represent in the IT world, for the purpose of this, antivirus. Antivirus is the software which is designed to protect us against threats through USB keys, through file transfers, through files that come through email. So it's file level virus protection. Combined with other security elements is really powerful, but on its own is limited. So please don't think if you've got antivirus on its own, it's the be all and end all, because it isn't. And again, as a little tip, don't cut costs when it comes to antivirus. It's such an important cog in this machine that you need to invest in something that's recognised. So something like ESET, Sophos, Heimdall, as well as another product that we'd recommend. So moving on to the next slide. Anyone with a poison sort of tin of pedigree chum and who can pick a lock has still got access to our worldly possessions, so we need to add a little bit more security. So without sort of quoting Donald Trump, we need to build a wall. Now the wall that we're going to build is 7 foot high. We're going to put some barbed wire on it. We're going to make it electric as well all the way around, and this represents a firewall, a secure firewall. This is a piece of kit that typically sits in between your internet connection, so your router, and your company's data, which would be your computers or your server. And its job is to reduce the risk of unwanted traffic going through your internet connection. Really important to forget about just having a router, which is typically supplied by the broadband provider, and go for something a little bit more stringent, a little bit more secure, which is a firewall. So moving on to the next slide. I'm sure we all know that houses, dogs need looking after and maintaining. So introducing you to Mike, Microsoft, great surname. Now Mike is a maintenance man. He's also a qualified vet, would you believe? And Mike's job is to pop by every month to check on the house, to make sure the locks haven't been tampered with, to make sure the security around the fences and the gates, etc. are okay, and also prescribe Ronnie and Reggie with any medicine that they might need or vitamins to keep them on top performance. For the purpose of this presentation, Mike actually represents software updates. Now, we all get that message on our screen when we're shutting down our laptop once a month, something like that, saying we need to run 30 Microsoft updates. Do you want to click yes to continue, or do you want to click no and do it another day? It's our responsibility as end users to make sure that we're running updates on a regular basis. Updates are the very medicine against cybercrime, viruses, etc. To put some perspective on it, there are something like 350,000 new malware samples and viruses sent out to the internet by the hackers every single day. So running updates is the least we can do as end users. What's more, updates are usually free. The business owner or yourselves already pay a subscription for that software or have paid for it outright, which means that you can run updates for free. It's part of the package, so please run them. Without running your updates, you will be vulnerable. So moving on to the next slide, we're going to add another set of eyes around the house. We're going to install CCTV cameras. Now these CCTV cameras run 24/7. They've got a team of security specialists sat at the other end of the cameras as well, watching everything that's going on around the clock. They've got Mike's phone number, they're really good with the guard dogs and the training of the guard dogs, and they provide the best locks on the market as well, because security is what they do, it's their speciality. Now this additional security service means that I now pay somebody else to worry about the security of my house as well, and it represents, for the purpose of this presentation, a 24/7 proactive IT support provision. As a bit of an insight, technology has changed so much and cybercrime has changed so much over the years that they operate 24/7. It's not a 9 to 5 job being in cybercrime, and they typically target businesses out of hours. So it's important that your IT systems, which tend to run 24/7 anyway, are also maintained, supported and monitored 24/7. Really important. Now, moving on to the next slide, our last characters. Now this is us. So if you look at the bottom of the screen there, this represents the end user, the people element, if you like. Now, everyone's got full access to the house, obviously, because they live there, the owner. You've got granny there, you've got mum, you've got dad, you've got the kids. Everyone's got keys, barring the kids, obviously, at the minute. The only problem is that granny's code to get into the main gate, the main door, is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, granny, we're going to pick on you for this one. And dad even leaves a key above that top left-hand side camera, hidden away. If mum goes away with a different set of car keys. So it's a little bit, what we've sort of failed to realise with this slide is that we've implemented all this security and spent all this money and invested to protect our systems, but we forgot that we as humans are the weakest link. Educating yourself and your employees and your staff and even your family members and friends around cybercrime is really, really important. This is why presentations like this are so prominent at the minute, and there's a good reason for it. Something like 88% of data breaches last year were caused due to human error. So it's really, really important. Probably the most important slide on the deck there. So if we move on to the next slide. The worst has happened. Would you believe it? We've invested in all this security, but the very, very worst has happened. The gold medalist of the Hacker Olympics has decided to really, really pick on us. He really wants to get into our house and take everything that we own. So he's breached the parameter. So your data's gone. The ransom that the cyber criminals requesting is £1 gazillion. All hope is lost, right? Now, just a little tip before I leave the slide: never, ever, ever, ever pay a ransom. Enough said. But all hope is lost, right? Now, fortunately for us, if you look in the top right hand corner, again, you might have to put your glasses on for this one. We've made a copy. We treasure our home and everything inside it that much that we made a copy of it. We bought two of everything, and any updates, any changes, we've done the same at the copy. Now, this copy of our house and duplicate version of our house is located miles away in the Canary Islands in a secret location, and it's updated every day. Like I said, what's more, that helicopter's really fast, so I'm pretty confident that in a few hours we'll be back up and running as we were before, and the house will be back in working order. So if we just go through the motions in the next couple of slides, and we're back to how we were. Nice shiny new house as it was before. Now we're obviously going to give Mike a call to change the locks again, just to double check. We're going to make sure Ronnie and Reggie are okay, but we're back in business and the dinner's on the table, ready for the kids coming home. Now these last couple of slides represent backup and disaster recovery. Again, we haven't got time to go into all the detail of backup and disaster recovery, but in general, as a tip, just back up your systems, make sure you're doing it on a daily basis, make sure the backup is off-site as well, you've got a copy of it off-site, and if possible, please ditch anything that requires human intervention. The cost of automated, what we call cloud backup, so off-site backup, is really, really, really cost effective these days, it has come down dramatically in price. Now moving on to the last slide, the whole point to the story. So remember at the beginning we said that no one was 100% guaranteed safety, and that is still the case, as we saw, from the last slide. We were still breached. If someone really wants to get into your systems, they potentially will. But if you're walking down the street, now cybercriminals, bearing in mind, cybercriminals want a really, really easy win most of the time. The viruses that they send out and the hacks they send out are automated 9 times out of 10. So if you wanted an easy win and you was a burglar walking down the street here, which of these 2 houses would you target? The one on the left or the one on the right? Which one looks like the easiest win? It's all about putting the measures in place to discourage the cyber criminals out there. So for Mansfield 2020 members, we're offering a free security survey. So if anybody feels like it might be worth having a look at the systems from a security perspective, then please get in touch. Thank you.